I asked ChatGPT to tell me what the difference was between a revolving credit and an offset account. And they created me this diagram, which does make sense, but it only makes sense to somebody that actually kind of knows the difference already. And in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit more so that you can actually understand it a bit better. So a revolving credit and an offset account are quite different, but also quite similar. And not all banks offer both options. In fact, out of the main banks that we have in New Zealand, 2 offer revolving credits and not offsets, and 3 offer an offset account without a revolving credit, and then there's 1 that offers both. Now, a revolving credit is kind of like an extra overdraft where you put your money in and you're charged interest on what is not in there. So if you have a limit of $50,000, you have $30,000 in there, and then you pay interest on the $20,000 difference. And this is really good if you put all of your money in one account, because it's all bunched together and you save interest by having it all in that one account. It's really bad if you have bad self-control, because you see that as available credit. And it's also not ideal if you like separating your accounts and your money into different things like emergency fund, savings, holiday, kids. An offset account, however, still has the same benefits, but it's kind of set up slightly differently. So if you had a $50,000 offset account and you had $30,000 linked across multiple accounts, you'd still save interest on the $30,000, pay on the $20,000, but that is the difference, is that you can have multiple accounts. So if you did have $10,000 in a savings for emergency, $15,000 in savings for a car, $10,000 in savings for schools, you add up the 10, the 15 plus the 10, and that's how much will be offsetting the mortgage account. The trickiest thing with setting these up is not really knowing whether or not it's going to be beneficial. First off, you have to have savings or some sort of money, because otherwise you have no money to offset your mortgage and it's charged at a higher interest rate. And third off, you need to actually figure out what we're setting the limit at, because you would think that you set it at a limit that you have the funds available to you now. So if you have $50,000, you set it at $50,000, which is okay, but it doesn't really motivate you to put more money aside. So maybe you set it at 60,000, or maybe you set it at 70,000. And the key thing, which people seem to overlook because they're like, oh, why would I do this? The interest rate is higher. The key thing is you are saving interest on your mortgage, and you have that money available to you should you need it for something. So if you want to buy a car, you can take out the $10,000, spend it on a car, and then you'll just pay interest on that $10,000 that you took out at the interest rate that is in the revolving credit or the offset account. And then you'll top it back up with your incomes and offset the interest and live happily ever after until you realize that you want to buy another house and get another mortgage. Does that make it a bit clearer?